Okay, so we'll go ahead and do attendance. So Phil Hawkins is absent today. David Chuckle present, myself present, and the other members of are also present. So communications, call to order, certification by board secretary to the committee members that the agenda was posted in accordance with the Brown Act.
The agenda was posted.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and open it for public comment.
I would like to make a statement. So I am a constituent of this body, and I am highly concerned that there have been and there continue to be ongoing efforts to privatize our water system. So of course some aspects of the system are already privatized, others are less so, but there is an effort to advance privatization. So privatization is bad policy for various reasons. We can see this for a long time, just as an example, as an analog, right? We in the United States, we only had private schools. We only did. But then we figured out that something as important as education should be a public good, public need. And so we decided to come up with K through 12 education so that we can guarantee our population education, which is very important. So now we're talking about water, and water is clearly a human need. It's really actually a human right as declared by the United Nations. So it is outrageous, it is ridiculous, it is unacceptable that any entity within our government would push for something like privatization, which would be the taking of the public good that was, if you believe in God, water was endowed, given to us by God. If you don't believe in God, maybe you believe in the mechanistic Big Bang. That universe, we were endowed with that water. All of us were. That's our heritage. It should not be in private hands. Because it's a public need. We don't need private corporations that are unaccountable to the people and to all of our families to be in charge of the water. Water is too important as a basic human need, a basic human good that we all need. Water needs to be healthy. It will not be healthy and well treated under private hands. It simply won't be, because as we all know, right? If you're gonna have a business, you're gonna want some type of profit. So usually the way of making more profit and cutting more losses is to reduce some of the water product treatments that could be done. In the same way that if you're the CEO of McDonald's, you're going to cut costs by introducing these machines to take orders, right? So you can cut down the cost of the labor. So in the same way, if you're the CEO of a water company, one thing you could do is to cut down and say the sanitary health inspection of water. You cut down the number of scientists. And all of that would be with the motive of creating more profit, right? That this is just like definitional. This is not controversial, it's just definitional. That's how businesses thrive. And businesses are welcome to thrive in some aspects of the economy, but something as important as water should not be in private hands. It should be in the public hands. So that's why I am here, because I'm very concerned that there have been ongoing efforts, and again, I said there's already been efforts that have been accomplished to further privatize water in Southeast Los Angeles, of course, in the county more broadly. And that is unacceptable. And now that the people are learning about that, the people are obviously going to stop it, because we should not be having a situation where our elected legislators, so for example here, we're in Commerce, who represents this area, well, various people, but one of them, of course, pushed to make it easier for water companies to serve on this public board. Think about that. What does that mean? Right? It's like we hear a lot about the Trump administration putting, the head lobbyist for Chevron on the EPA board. We hear about how a Boeing and Raytheon lobbyist is now in charge of the Department of Defense. So that we see as corruption. Why would the subjects of regulation, the companies, be the regulators, right? This is all over the national news, or has been for several years. The people oppose this. The people do not think that those that are the subject of regulation should be doing the regulating. But yet, of course, we have elected officials that are corrupt and weak, and they they've been bought by the corporate agenda. Unfortunately, I'll say Cristina Garcia is one of them, and there are many others. But the public is certainly opposed to this agenda, and the public will have a say, and there will be no further privatization of water. The people need clean, truly affordable, essentially it should essentially be free, just like K-12 education. So what has been going on as far as the privatization takeover, and now the assault on this body, that's got to stop, and it will stop. It is not appropriate for cities like Downey to be threatening legal action. What is the legal action meant for? One of the things that you do if you want to wear down a public body, as all corporations know, is you sue them. You sue until you really run up the cost for that public agency. You overwhelm them, and this becomes an excuse to what? To destroy it, which is, of course, what purveyors would like to do, what those who are regulated would like to do with the bodies that are regulated, right? This is not controversial. This is definitional. This is just what's going on. So that's why the people are now waking up to this fact. Just in the same way that the people didn't know for a long time about the Exide battery contamination not too far from here. But of course, the people did wake up, and the people decided to do something. They closed down Exide. And then, of course, again, we got the star of our story, Cristina Garcia, lying to the people, saying that the Exide has no money to help pay for the cleanup. That's totally false. Exide is a multi-billion-dollar company. So instead, the people have to foot the bill, right? We could pay $1 more for our cars, for car batteries. So that's unacceptable. So that's pushing the cost of corporate malpractice onto the people. So that's just it happens all over the United States. It's happening here. And the people will not stand for this. So it's not okay to do as you have been doing on this board. Not all of you, but some of you. And now that the people know, the people will be here. A lot more people will be here next time. And you will not be privatizing our water. Thanks.
I welcome anybody that wants to attend our meetings. The more, the better.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll probably be brief. I don't have much to say, but I do have some questions. There's 11 sets of minutes missing, and I want to know why Cecilia Pulido hasn't provided that. Now, I don't expect you to answer, but you need to provide that, obviously. My next question is going to be, following that, will also be like, is it because you're incapable of doing your job? Or are you intentionally choosing not to provide those minutes, I do expect you to come and answer that eventually. So I am requesting the minutes that are missing from the agendas. And if Cecilia cannot do that efficiently and accordingly to her job position, then we either need to evaluate her role here, and if she's not deemed capable of achieving that task, then obviously she needs to step down. So I hope she takes that into account. If you feel like the environment's too harsh, perhaps you're not up to the task, consider stepping down. Politics isn't for everyone, and definitely representing the people isn't. So I see that she's smiling, and I know she finds that humorous, and that's okay. But I do also want to ask you, do you actually believe the environment is too hostile? Because if you're going to be writing letters to the DA about the conditions here, then you should report that you're not doing your job. You should make the people that you're making your reports to aware that you are failing on your behalf and your responsibilities. So with that said, I request that you provide those 11 sets that are missing. I implore you, or I advise you to consider very well whether you're even capable of doing this job. And if you're not, and if you feel this environment is too hostile for you, then find somewhere else. Go find another job, because clearly you're not suited to be here. With that said, that ends my public comment.
Items too late to be agendized. Okay, moving on to action calendar, number 4, authorization of budget increase for Rio Hondo Pump Station, calendar year 2020 lease invoice.
Okay, so the first thing I'd like to say is that since this memo